So now we will work with some materials for pre-intermediate level. Getting to know you. Where are you from? Where were you born? Where do you live? Do you live in a house or a flat? Do you have any brothers or sisters? Do you have any pets? What do you do? What time do you wake up during the week? Where do you usually have lunch? What time do you usually go to bed? Where did you study English before? Can you speak any other languages? Which? What kind of music do you listen to? What TV programs or series do you watch? Do you do any sport or exercise? What? What kind of books or magazines do you read? How often do you go to the cinema? What did you do last weekend? Do you like to spend time with friends? How often do you meet with them? How often do you meet outside? Do you meet with your friends in the evening? How organized are you? When you have lots of things to do, you write them on a piece of paper or a post-it note. You keep them in your head. You put them in your phone, diary, or calendar. When you go shopping, you sometimes have a list. You always have a list. You decide what to buy when you get there. When you meet friends, your friends sometimes arrive before you. You're usually the first to arrive at the restaurant. Your friends always need to wait for you. When you go on holiday, you pack a few hours before leaving. If you've forgotten something, you can buy it when you get there. You have a list of what to take and start packing a few days before. You look through your wardrobe and pack the night before you go. When you travel by plane or train, you arrive at the airport or station a long time before you really need to be there. You usually arrive at the recommended time. You leave home at the last possible minute. Answer the questions in pairs. Your country. Do men and women both do housework? Who does more? Do you think this is fair? In a typical family, how much housework do teenagers do? What kind of jobs do they do? What housework do you think younger children can do? Who does the most housework in your house or flat? Is everyone happy with this? Do you ever argue about it? What housework do you do? How often do you do it? What housework do you hate doing? What don't you mind doing? Is there any housework you enjoy doing? Do you ever find housework relaxing? Have you done any housework today? What? Look at the photo. Does this situation often happen where you live? The bathroom needs cleaning. I'm really tired and I hate cleaning. Can you do it? I hate housework too. Let's leave it. They hate cleaning, but they want to live in a clean, tidy house. What do they need? Ask and answer with a partner. Give and ask for as much information as you can. Sport, you love it or you hate it. Do you do any sport or exercise? Which sports do you think are the most exciting to watch? Which sports do you think are the most boring? Are you or is anyone in your family a fan of sports team? Which one? Do you or they go to their matches? Have you ever been to any live sporting events? What is the most exciting sporting event you have ever been to or watched on TV? Why aren't women's sports as popular as men's? Send us your thoughts. I actually prefer watching women's tennis. Men usually hit the ball so hard, especially when they serve, that their opponent can return it, so it's less exciting to watch. I think we should open up men's football to women. Then we could compare person to person how well each player performs, and teams could be made up of the best players, both men and women. That's true of most team sports, actually. Women's sports that are identical to men's sports, football and basketball, for example, will never be as popular as men's because men are faster, stronger, and more athletic. On the other hand, sports that highlight the strengths of female athletes, tennis, gymnastics, ice skating, are popular. But it's interesting that none of those are team sports. Brandy, I think you're right about the difference between team and individual sports. When I watch the Olympics, winter and summer, I enjoy the women's and men's individual events equally. The women probably run, swim, ski a bit slower than the men, but I can't really tell, and it just as exciting. Most people want to watch the best sports people perform at the highest level. If you compare top male and female athletes, physical differences mean that women are always inferior athletes to men. In men's football, the players fall over all the time and act like babies. The women don't do that. I've read research that says that women hardly ever pretend to be hurt, and when they are hurt, they get up again 30 seconds faster than men. Ella White is a baker and has her own small shop in Ashburton, Devon. Peter Gordon presents The Breakfast Show on Eagle Radio in the south of England. Do you ever get up very late or very early? Why? When? What's the first thing you turn on after you wake up in the morning? Have you ever forgotten to turn your phone off in a concert or the cinema? Do you throw away old clothes or do you give them to other people? Do you enjoy trying on clothes when you go shopping? When you go shopping, do you usually write down what you have to buy? Do you only buy what's on the list? What kind of shops do you enjoy looking around? What kind don't you enjoy? Do you often go away at the weekend? Where to? Do you enjoy looking after small children? Why? Have you ever asked your neighbors to turn the TV or the music down? What happened? How do you usually get around your town or city during the day? What, ab- what about late at night? Art, foreign languages, geography, history, IT, literature, maths, PE, physical education, science, physics, chemistry, and biology. Fame Academy. They grew up to be famous. But what were they like when they were at school? Did they already have that spark that made them different? We asked their teachers. Alex Turner, lead singer and songwriter of Arctic Monkeys. Mark Coleman, his PE teacher. Everyone liked Alex at school. He was very good at English. Mr. Baker, his English teacher, really liked poetry, and I'm sure Alex was inspired by him because his song lyrics are incredible. But he didn't used to be very interested in music. He was much more interested in sports. He was possibly the best in the school at basketball. When he was 14, he broke his arm in my PE lesson. He was in hospital for a week, and we collected money and bought him a CD, so he was probably beginning to get interested in music. Everyone at the school is very proud of the band, and I'm sometimes invited to their concerts. J.K. Rowling, author. Joan Nettleship, her science teacher. Joanne was about 12 when I taught her. Her school days weren't very happy. The school was a bit like a prison, and then her mom, Anne, got seriously ill. Anne worked as my technician, and Joanne used to come and wait outside the science building for her mom so that they could walk home together. She was obviously very worried about her mom. She was a very quiet child. I don't remember her ever answering a question. I think she was keeping all her experiences in her head to use later in her stories. Joanne has said that no characters in Harry Potter are based more than 10% on a real person. So perhaps it's just a coincidence that I used to have long black hair. But to be honest, I think Professor Snape, especially in the later books, is very like me. Jude Law, actor. Mike Jones, his housemaster. Jude was bullied at his first secondary school, so he changed schools when he was 14 and came to us. He didn't know anybody, but that wasn't a problem for him. He adapted very quickly, which shows his confidence. He quickly started acting in school plays, and he used to get fantastic reviews in the school magazine. He was clever, but sometimes teachers thought he was arrogant. Some of his classmates thought the same, and he was very popular with them. Other boys were jealous of him because the girls usually liked him. From $20 to $1 million in 30 minutes. A man who found $20 in the street near San Francisco International Airport used it to play the California lottery and won $1 million. Lottery spokesman Greg Parashak said on Monday. Hubert Tang used the $20 to buy two lottery scratch cards at a store near the airport on Wednesday and won the top prize with one of them, Parashak told us. Tang said, I scratched the ticket outside the store. I told my friend who I was with that I didn't know if it was real, but I thought I had just won $1 million. Tang, who works as a barman at the airport, hadn't played the lottery for the last 10 years. He said that he planned to continue working and had not decided how to spend the money. But he said that he might leave $20 notes in different places so that other people could find them and be lucky like him. Name, age, status. Tessa Mills, 42, single. Occupation. I'm a nurse. Adjectives that describe you. Fun, talkative, generous. Likes and dislikes. I like traveling, going to pop concerts, going out. I don't like mean men who never pay for dates. Where were you born? What time do you usually get up during the week? Where do you usually have lunch? What time of day do you usually meet friends? When do you usually go shopping? Where do you usually do your English homework? When do you do housework? Where can you have a nice walk near where you live? Okay, that's it with that book.